Asterix, what happened? Last thing I heard was something about aliens, and then all of a sudden everything went black.
Get a fix?
Oops.
I saw Get a fix just then.
That was my bad. Getting
what-
involved here.
I'm still wondering what Getafix is doing with the Romans.
They do explain it, but that's much later.
Yeah, it's much later, and honestly, I think it's well, you guys should just see it for yourselves, and you'll see what I mean by it being, well,
It's a reason.
It's like, the whole thing of Getafix betraying himself to the Romans sounds ridiculous, because it is.
Okay, you know, it kind of reminds me of how Resident Evil came up with its justification as to why Albert Wesker suddenly became, like, Matrix-like, where it's like, it's a reason, just not a good reason.
Get a fix would have been there, but he's already left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my bad. I accidentally slid off the platform.
Yeah.
This music is very
Wait, was that...
schizophrenic.
Why is it?
Was that... Oh, never mind. I thought... yeah, I don't know what
You
I
thought
was...
those you thought those were pants too, didn't you?
It's the Arc de Triomphe.
Oh, look, a soda machine.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It's
Wonder if it has any grog.
probably just fine wine.
Yeah.
It's not like soda was around back in those days.
But just, it's
Oh, yeah,
like...
it was. Like, there's
Wait,
a whole...
it was?
There was a whole movie where everyone was so... Like, you know, the Romans tested all the caskets to find the magic potion, but they all had wine in them.
Oh, that's right, in Britain, so they all had
that was
wine.
fun.
And they got drunk.
For a minute, I thought you were implying, no, there was soda back there.
Oh? Oh, there's the Washington Monument, and there's the Eiffel Tower?
Huh.
There's Notre Dame.
That wasn't
Cathedral?
around back then. Wow.
And Omnibus.
Again, this is a game where this is pretty much a story where take any sort of subtlety that the Asterix series is known for out the window, and well, it's pretty much just a thing of its own caliber.
Oh, jeez, you screwed up now.
Oh, there it goes.
Mad with power.
Unlimited power.
So, all this looking together, Jordy, does this interest you at all in checking out the series?
I think it might, yeah.
All things considered, Jordy, I think you might get more out of the actual like the comics and movies themselves than with this game, because not to say this game's like terrible, mind you, it's your typical licensed 3D brawler game.
Yeah, well, that's what Logan was saying. He meant like the series as a whole.
Yeah, I get you. But, no, I wouldn't mind checking out the movies or even maybe one or two of the comics. So far, I'm liking the game.
You know what? If I could just make a quick suggestion, I know this is for a completely different channel, but considering how big we became as far as like Asterix fans, I'm surprised we haven't contemplated the idea of doing an Asterix dub for Dub Matters.
What is this music I'm hearing?
Totally not fitting with the time period, if that's what you're wondering, Logan.
Sounds like music I'd expect from Spiral Mouth in Crash to Insanity.
2 Marios.
3 Marios. 4.
Oh yeah, no, like there's more than just one Pablo or one boxer in this game. Like, no, there's a whole horde of them, kind of like the Legionnaires themselves.
1 Mario, 2 Mario, 3 Mario, 4.
Also,
5 Mario, 6 Mario, 7, let's go!
Also,
Will the real Mario please stand up?
oh yeah, by the way, listen to this.
Mamma
That,
Mia!
I couldn't quite hear it.
He
said Mamma Mia.
That's funny.
Oh, sweet relief, we found our first shop.
Yay.
Who's buying?
Let's see.
So
Get
yeah,
it.
you can basically get regular objects like the shield of fully automatics, basically your little
Nice.
they're like they're just your health shield sort of thing,
Right.
like extra health.
Oh yeah, fully automatics is their resident blacksmith.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You got
Melee training.
upgrade your techniques, and you can get really cute little figurines.
Huh.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, what the hell? I have enough for one.
TNN Roman martial arts expert.
Yep.
He looks like the dude. He actually looks like the dude from frickin' Double Dragon.
It could be Double Dragon, but I think
yeah.
it's really meant to be,
That's
you know,
Ryu,
Ryu.
yeah.
Ah, nuts.
No
Actually-
melee training.
Meh.
Well, hold on. There's actually a couple more helmets here.
Oop.
It'll be enough to build myself up. Not quite.
How many statues
Well,
can you? How many shields can you have? a lot.
3 at a time.
Oh, okay.
Can I just say I love the squash and stretch going on here?
Oh, they're very rubbery in this game.
What is? I don't know if we had talked about that, James. Who are the developers of this?
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know who the name of the developers of this game. I just know that the remake was published by Microids, who were also responsible for publishing that Toki remake we looked at earlier.
Oh.
Oh, I just remembered. Look who that is.
It's a frog.
Frogger?
Oh, it's Peppy. I think.
Oh,
Or
Am I
Peppy.
getting that name right?
Slippy.
Oh, Slippy.
It's Peppy.
Slippy.
Slippy.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, Peppy is the hair.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow.
Shows you
I
how
never
much
would-
of a fan of Star Fox I am. Which is not.
Though,
a
to be honest, are we really surprised? To be honest,
What's up,
are we
James?
really
Oh.
surprised?
Hang on. Hi. What's up, James?
Nah. I was just gonna say, gotta go.
Oh.
I figured it was kind of natural
Oh,
considering the.
That was a Street Fighter guy. I don't know where he goes.
Also, just realized, yeah, there's technically monorails in this time period too. It's like, Jesus Christ, the Romans sure were. They sure were ahead of their time. Maybe a
go.
little more
Yeah,
so
they
than
were.
what history tends to dictate.
So what could be
I love
beyond
fucking.
this?
I just love Obelix's little walk there.
Waddle, waddle.
He's like,
Not many loading screens, which I'm okay with. Whoa.
Yeah, the game's pretty good about load times, and yeah, literally, there's the Eiffel Tower. And out of wood.
While Chinese music plays.
Many centuries early. Oh boy.
Crap, those switches need to go.
Hey, Mario.
Aw.
and there goes the bounce pad.
Yeah, we need those switches to be depressed for, you know what I mean, for the spring to come back.
And I get the feeling that, like, when they get to the spring, I have a sudden urge to shout out something called a bounce pad.
Technically, the game never gets that redundant, or you know.
Yeah, I know. They don't get that point.
Yeah, which
Ow,
I mean,
ow.
kind of a blessing in disguise, even though they do repeat some stuff on occasion.
Do the floods actually, like, hurt you, or do they just, like, push you back?
They stun you, which in a horde of legionnaires is really fucking annoying.
Ow. Hi. I heard Mama. And that was all he just said.
That was all he
All
could
he
say.
could say.
Just Mamma Mia.
Here I go again.
Oh no.
Please no.
Oh, come on. I'm a musical person.
I like ABBA, but no.
So this whole thing for me began. Oh, nice. This whole thing for me began when I don't know how it started, but we all just had a big like marathon of Asterix movies.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know James wanted us to start watching them, and we just really got into them.
We
Yeah.
watched
I didn't
all
even
except
know, I didn't even know how I
really
did.
we watched all except the first one, the very very first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was for good
Asterix
reason. I mean
Actually-
it's not a terrible movie. It just does pale in comparison to the rest.
Yeah. I will also say, just in terms of getting you guys onto like Asterix stuff, I think we should show Logan and James the atop the fourth wall review of one of the Asterix comics, because I do know that Linkara covered one of them as a Patreon review.
I figured it would only be a matter of time given what he does.
I haven't followed him in a long time, so I completely missed out on that.
It was a video that he did like a few years ago. There he goes.
Up to Isle Delfino.
Funny,
Asterix.
I didn't know Romans could phase through trees.
They can
So,
fly.
hello, totally not suspicious looking hills.
And look at look at the background to your left, James. Look at the painting. Some of them. Oh, I thought some of them had eyes. Excuse me.
That'd be funny.
They
if
might
did.
have. They were just probably in the middle of blinking.
Whee!
Wow, he went to waste.
Wow.
I'll give that a 7.
So I don't know if we were talking about this, but let's say for
Ooh.
wow, we're high up.
Oh, an outhouse. I needed one.
Yay!
What did that do?
it opened up the cage outside to
That
let
one
us through the
switch
bridge.
atop the Eiffel Tower
Hooray!
opens one little gate.
Yes.
Basically.
A diamond helmet. I don't know if we've talked about this. Let's say a new like Asterix and Vikings kind of thing was gonna happen.
It's the goal!
They're smart, but I don't know if they ever talked about this. What other like actors would you like to see play Asterix and Obelix?
Like in terms of like voice actors?
Yes.
Well, two that come to mind for me, and I know I'm the only person that would probably recognize them, is I would like to see like Chris Edgerly as Asterix and Fred Tatsior as Obelix.
No
I can
idea
see
who
that.
those
That'd
are.
be interesting.
We should explain. I've never actually seen one in my life, but we have not watched any of the live action movies yet.
I thought there was only one.
No,
I heard
there
there's
are a
two.
few.
And they're crap.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
what I heard anyway.
Then how do they keep making more?
Well, how do you think Disney keeps on making its remakes?
Fair.
But yeah, just to give Ali context, Chris Edgerly, he is the guy that filled in for I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Hang on. The one guy from How to Train Your Dragon, the one with the interchangeable hand. Well, what's his name again?
Yeah, Gobber.
Yeah, Gobber. Chris Edgerly is the guy that voices Gobber in the TV show.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Fred Tatsior,
Craig Ferguson originally voiced him.
Right.
yeah. Mhm. And Fred Tatsior, he's done quite a few things. Like, he's the current voice actor for Hulk. He voices Magus in... he voices Magnus in Kid Icarus Uprising, and Dingo Dial in Insane Trilogy.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, hey James. Are there any like quote unquote like brothers moves, like combo attacks you can do between Asterix and Obelix?
What you saw earlier with Obelix just tossing one of those Romans,
Legionaries.
and me literally just doing that little jump and woo-ha sort of thing. I think that's all you get.
Aww.
Which kind of sucks, to be honest.
There's been a rumor going around that they may be making a third XXL.
Oh no, that was confirmed.
Oh snap! So I would
They
say
are
that
making they are making a third game.
I would love for there to either be some local co-op, or if not that, then definitely I would love for there to be some more like collaborative like move fights between them all.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And if you're gonna bring back a move from the show, please bring back the classic hold a Roman up by his collar and just start smacking him back and
Yes,
forth on his face.
please.
Just slapping him across the face.
That's like my favorite move they do and everything. Just
Or I think one that I like that I remember in Vikings, I don't know if they do it anywhere else, where Obelix just like slams him down repeatedly into the ground, like dope, 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 dope.
Honestly, guys, if you like seeing that, you'll love the arcade game that Konami made way back in the early '90s.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
do that.
That's something I do want to share sooner or later, but I still need to give that one a little bit of preparation because that's actually not the only Asterix game I want to show off in a single video.
This is going nuts.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
They just don't stop.
Yeah,
that's one of my biggest complaints about this game to me. Actually, there are times where you will be locked into a gauntlet, and oftentimes they'll throw in later portions of the game, they throw like hundreds of these bastards at you.
Well, you gotta give them credit.
To circumvent. You were saying?
I was just gonna say, well, you gotta give them credit. They certainly know how to try to defend themselves.
Yeah, it's just that I think they could have gone without like the occasional hundreds of them. But that's kind of what I think they expect you to get most of these techniques or whatever from the shop to circumvent some of that bullshit. But
That's
otherwise,
fair.
yeah, like when I said that this game mostly focuses on the brawling, I fucking mean it.
Well, it is a beat 'em up.
Honestly, I really feel bad about what I'm gonna say because I've been playing this game a bit and I've been enjoying it, and again, from what I've seen, it looks great. But in terms of these fights, I almost would say that I think the way that they handle the fights in this game are exactly the exact opposite reasons of why I like the fights in the movies. In that they are repetitive and they aren't the exact same fight.
Yeah, it was usually spaced out.
Right. But here they're like the focus of the game, and once that happens, then yeah, you got to really start being creative. Otherwise, it just drags.
I will say, I think it probably won't be as big of an issue if they had a more varied pool of attacks, which, unless there are some and James hasn't unlocked them yet, it looks like they have like a very restrictive amount of moves that they can do in this game.
Like, the most you can really do is you pretty much slap your opponent silly. You can use dogmatics, and you can grab on opponents and use them as whips. That's pretty much it. All right,
So
then.
speaking of stuff,
Actually, wait, what am I trying to remember what I'm supposed to do?
you opened a
No,
shop, I
that's
think.
not. That's the way to. That's actually the way to something else. No, we actually just went there. I think I want the let button.
So if they were to make...
By the way, real quick, hold on, Logan. There are going to be occasions where, like, say if you get stumped in a certain part of the game, dogmatics will lead you in the right direction.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
That's nice.
I don't know if crap, what am I trying to say? Because we're all kind of on the same page with the whole like it's kind of repetitive kind of thing. If there was, again, this is how they handle loading those little break rooms there. Anyway, if they were to take Asterix and Obelix and give them a different genre of game as opposed to this big old beat 'em up brawler thingy over and over again, what genre of game do you think they could handle?
You know what I think? One that I think they could fit in perfectly is if they were in an RPG in a similar vein to like the Mario and Luigi series.
I can see that.
I could see that.
I could see that. Honestly, I was also just going to say they could just work with regular puzzle platformers.
Really?
Like, kind of like, say, the Lost Vikings, for example.
Oh, fair.
Well, for those that are not in the loop, the Lost Vikings is basically a game where you take control of.
Oops. Oops.
And Larry Kraft.
Oops.
And Ryu again.
Now they introduce these fuckers.
Well.
Naturally, they shoot out Hadoukens.
Oh, shoot.
Hey guys,
Yes.
What's up?
if it's okay with you, I'm actually gonna get going now because I'm starting to get a little tired. But it was really
Okay.
nice, getting to experience this for the first time.
Real
Alright.
quick, I just noticed that when the
You're
Ryu
welcome.
guys die, they go, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Anyway,
clever.
bye guys.
Alright, see you, Jordy. Actually, yeah. I'll stop the video once we actually reach a certain cutscene I do want to show off. But
Okay.
it'll have to be
Okay.
after this gauntlet though, because again, they get way too shameless with these things.
Can we? Why don't you do some of those button presses so we can get some potions and make the thing go faster?
Unfortunately, they don't always give you potions. Sometimes they just give you other stuff. Like, say, in the case of Asterix here, they're letting us unlock an ability to get triple the amount of helmets we can usually acquire. I swear to God, this golden fucker. is getting me.
this guy is rather annoying.
Is there really no way to defend against their shield blocking you?
No, you have to wait for them to start attacking to prep up an attack.
Yeah.
Trust me, it can get very annoying.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, they need just to run away
They
from the
don't
next
stop.
fight. Yeah, I think I'm starting to see why you could have done a full commentary of this.
Endless.
You know, I love a fight
just
as
keep-
much as the next goal, but this is starting to get monotonous, don't you think, Asterix?
So watching it is starting to get a little bit samey. How's it to play, James?
I mean, it runs pretty solid. Like I can't say there's much in the way of input delay or anything. It's just, yeah, it's honestly, it's just a regular, pretty much middle of the road licensed game. Well, maybe not so much middle of the road. I'll give it more credit than that. It's just that, yeah, this is the game's worst fault by far.
Yeah.
And honestly, if there is a third game in the works, I do hope that not only do they tone it down a bit, or if they are going to go that route, go like either the Dynasty Warriors route or maybe a Platinum Games route.
Dynasty
where you
Warriors,
have,
like,
multiple
you know what?
attacks.
You know what? I actually never thought of it like that. A Warriors game would work with Asterix and Obelix.
You're right.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I think it would.
Like honestly, we're
Wow.
pretty much doing something akin to that of Dynasty Warrior. We're essentially dealing with hundreds of mooks by them. Well, maybe not so much 100 mooks at a time, but basically the amount in a typical gauntlet.
But I agree. I think what makes this fight just feel so kind of is that everyone just feels so tanky. Even the normal foot mooks that you have to do all these special attacks with just to get them out of the way. Like,
Well,
look at that
rest-
guy. Look how
rest
many
assured,
punches
like-
he just took from Obelix. Obelix.
Yeah.
You know, Obelix, I do believe that this magic potion that we got's a little bit on the light side.
Probably. I will give this game some credit though. Like the further you get into the game, you do get options you can buy from the store that do make fights go by a lot quicker.
Nice.
That's good.
Do
So it kind of makes the 100
There we
legendary
go.
gauntlets
God, finally.
be more like a 50. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway,
Oh, hey, Sam.
but we actually get to the stuff where it's fun again. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like earlier on in the video, they were talking about all the locales you can go to in Las Vegas, and I think some of my favorites are sorry.
Whoa.
I think one of my favorites is literally the very final level in the game, Caesar's Palace.
Also, what's with this bumblebee boat?
Oh, really? I don't think it's... Maybe it's a reference to Galaga? I don't know.
Maybe. It's a
But
ship.
there's a clear-cut reference out in the distance.
Yeah, it's a bug ship, so it is Galaga, I
Oh
guess.
yeah.
That's right. The alien ships in the games were bugs.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
look what else is on the horizon.
Lemmings,
Yep.
Oh,
and they're falling down into the water.
Just like a lemming
Yeah.
would.
that's actually not true. Real life lemmings don't do that.
Well, I mean,
No.
like the game lemmings.
Only the
Yeah.
asshole ones that push them off the boat.
who needs a boat?
Not the boat, the cliff.
As much as I'd love to say that, though, no, you do need a boat in order to actually progress.
Oh,
You're not going to be able to
Yeah,
actually reach
it's
the other
kinda-
side without it.
It's just kind of giving you the runaround a little bit.
Give me the
Basically.
Why are you trying to give me to run around?
Although any inflight peanuts I can eat.
Almost there.
Start over there.
Perhaps a movie we can watch.
Oh no.
What's Obelix, what are you talking about?
Okay, we made it.
Yeah.
Get off. How are we gonna
I'm
reach
sure
the...
you were almost done with the video. I'm terribly sorry it's kind of lasted this long, but
Minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
What's up?
I'm starting to second guess buying this game because
Aw.
I mean,
Oh, but,
it looks. I mean, everything else about
Oh,
it looks
hold on,
fun,
hold on,
but
wait,
the,
what?
the pacing just feels really off.
Sorry, gentlemen, ain't gonna work.
And
Well,
sadly,
anyway.
different continuity because of
What?
costumes.
Guys,
Stand back, Asterix. I'll pay him a visit. I'm going through the door.
go get him, Obelix. Show him who's boss.
Go for it.
Go.
And nope.
He's like,
Oh.
oh,
Had superhuman
what?
strength, which I doubt soon as this is real life.
The one time where Obelix's strength actually didn't work.
Gonna work. This door is indestructible.
Oh.
So come back
Locks.
when you've got the entrance fee. 'Cause this ain't gonna work.
Indestructible.
Fine.
So yeah, unfortunately,
incognito.
we have to pay a toll.
well, damn it.
Alright, we
More
got
But
it.
thankfully they're pretty generous. But yeah, that's. I mean, I can't think of too many instances in the overall Asterix series where they actually show Obelix's strength actually not working. I think that's probably the only time.
Wow.
Is it a one-time purchase?
Yeah, it's a one-time purchase, thankfully.
Okay. What the-
Meanwhile, in Julius Caesar's lair,
Oh, okay. It's his miniatures
Ah,
again.
I see.
and there's
He has a
Larry.
thing for these.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
So,
That's Larry Kraft.
two things.
Okay, so I guess you do fight him.
Good and one bad. I don't much like my news to come in complimentary pairs, Larry Croft. It reminds me of those two Gauls. The
He's his
little
head
and the big
assassin.
one. Funny you should say that, Caesar. Sam Schiffer has warned the Gauls of our operation.
That's
He's
so
in Las
weird.
Vegas as we speak with two
I think that's the
Gauls.
intention.
I know, but like,
By Jupiter. He's brought Asterix and Obelix. I don't know their
The
names,
very
so
same.
you'll see
It's like
them.
it's
There's
like a
little
trend.
one with a moustache and a big stripy one.
That's them, all right.
That's
Yeah.
them.
Holy hell, Julius!
Oh! Ow!
Ow!
Caesar's got some strength.
Stopped by
Damn.
any means. Send out every available.
Here it is.
unit.
Here it is, Empire Fair and Square. That's for sure.
I'm Mars, Larry Croft. Get up and go.
He kind of knocked him out.
He was able to push him 20 feet
Oh,
across
oh,
the.
oh! Wait a minute. Gui, before we end off, actually, hold on a second because they pulled this shit. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Does this face look familiar?
Wait for it.
Is
See,
that
it's up there.
Rayman?
Up there? Yep.
Oh my god,
that's
it's
Rayman.
Rayman!
Oh, and a spoiler alert, anime. Spoiler alert, Ali. There actually is an enemy type based off him.
Yeah, I think I noticed on the cover art.
And believe it or not, folks, that's actually a perfect time for us to stop.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I would like to see more about the pacing.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, terribly sorry about that. But hey, I mean, I did promise the guys here I'd show this game off sooner or later, and
Yeah.
just be thankful we didn't dedicate this into a commentary.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like with proper editing, it could have worked. Just all the fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
That's again, that's pretty much the reason why the comics don't always focus on them for any more than like say 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But on that note, I mean, this isn't going to appeal to everyone, but for those that don't mind the occasional like slogs of gauntlet rushes, this game might be right up your alley. But until we eventually get that elusive third game in the works, I mean, I'm still curious on how that's going to work. I mean, it's literally been like what 10, 12 years since this game came out. Until that comes around, that was Asterix and Obelix Double Extra Large 2. I'm JamesmanXtreme.
I'm Mirthgui.
I'm Lucky Jack 20. Looking forward, actually, to the other big news is that a new Asterix and Obelix movie is being made, and I think it's slated for release in early 2019.
Yes, it is.
Yay! I'm hiring Princess Lita.
And I'm gonna go take a sampling of that all-you-can-eat buffet.
Also, Jordan was here too.
Yes, she
here too.
was.
So yeah, till next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye, bye.
Toodaloo.